All right, back with another video. Today's video, I'm doing the differences, the physical differences, inputs, outputs, ports, things like that between the MPC 4000 and the MPC X, right? So if you're watching the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So first of all, I'm going to cover the main outputs. So first of all, the MPC 4000, as you can see, it's got a lot of inputs and outputs at the back here. So one thing about the MPC 4000, it has 4 main outputs. Yeah, 4. So let me point them out to you right now. We've got one pair here, left and right XLR, okay? And then we got a left and right TRS here, okay? Down here, we got a digital. This digital output here is a main output as well, okay? Left and right, but it's through one cable, okay? And this cable is actually, you can have SPDIF or you can have SPDIF to AES to XLR. As you know, the machine is 24-bit as well, okay? So the 4th main output is here. You have a ADAT main output on the MPC 4000 as well. So that's 4 main outputs in total on the MPC 4000. So the MPC X only has 1 main output, okay? Which is here. We've got TRS, left and right. Only 1. I mean, it does have audio options and stuff through the USB, through the PC or through an audio interface, but as a standalone, it only has 1 main output, as you can see right here, main. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the inputs, okay? So on the MPC 4000, we have this recording in part here, which has 2 auxiliary jacks here, left and right, as you can see. It's got the switch here as well, line and mic switch, okay? And then you have these double inputs here, which are TRS and XLR. So we've got 2 here. Then you have another one here. This is an AES or SPDIF digital input, okay? And then you have another 8 here, okay? So in total, the MPC 4000 has a total of 13 mono inputs, individual mono inputs, okay? On the inputs on the MPC X, we got some combo inputs here, which are XLR and TRS. We've got 1 and 2 here, okay? We've got a left and right TRS here, input. We also have some phono jacks here, auxiliary jacks, left and right here for the inputs. And we have the switch here, phono line switch. So in total, there is a total of 8 inputs. There's 2 at the front as well. So I'll show you the 2 at the front right now. So these are the 2 inputs at the front, 1 and 2. They're actually called instrument inputs. So in total, on the MPC X, you've got 8 mono inputs in total. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the individual outputs of the MPC 4000. So first of all, you have 8 individual outputs here, analog outputs. This is a card here, okay? All of the MPC 4000s don't actually come with this card installed. Sometimes you have to install it yourself, but the thing is you can actually install 2. So here, this is a slot here for the ADAT. So you can either have 2 ADATs, and you can have 16 in, 16 out, or you can have a total of 16 individual outputs. You can have 2 of these cards here. Okay, so it has got quite a lot of onboard individual outputs assignable. You can have them as stereo pairs or you can have them as individual monos. And like I said, the ADAT is 8 in and 8 out. Plus, it has a stereo out as well, left and right, which is handy. So the MPC 4000 has a total of 22 mono outs in total, if you count everything. That's how I've got mine set up. Okay, I'll count them for you quickly. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you got these 8. Then you got 8 here, and then you got 1 here, and then you got a headphone. So in total, that's 22 in total. So here we have a total of 6 individual TRS outputs here in this section here, as you can see. So in total, there's a total of 8 mono outputs on the MPC-X. As you can see, they're all here. These 8 here. You got the main left and right, and then you got the 6 individual assignable outputs there. So you got a total of 8 monos. Again, no digital output, no XLR output, just 8 TRS mono jacks as outputs, and that's it. So on the individual outputs, you do have options where you can use the USB as a port. You can use the USB as a port for an audio interface, or obviously to link with the PC software, MPC Beats, and you can have multiple ins and outs through the software, through the USB device, the USB port here. We also have a phone's output here, headphones. We've got a small mini jack here. We've got a 1/4 inch jack output here with the level there. So on the MPC 4000, we have 2 MIDI inputs here, 1 and 2, and then you have 4 MIDI outputs, A, B, C, and D. Okay, and you have 2 foot switches here at the back. Foot switch 1 and foot switch 2 right there. So here we have the usual amount of MIDIs. We got 2 MIDI inputs here, 1 and 2, and then you got the 4 MIDI outputs, A, B, C, and D right there. You also have 2 foot switches, and they're at the front on the MPC-X, so I'll show you them now. Here we have 2 foot switches as well. We've got foot switch 1 and foot switch 2 there. On the MPC-X, you also have CV outputs. Okay, CV stands for controlled voltage. So here you've got 8 of them. You've got 1 to 8, which are basically like 3.5mm jacks. And they work with modular synths and old synthesizers. So yeah, that's a bonus. So you got that on the MPC-X, which is a really cool feature. All right, so now I'm gonna go into the synchronization on the MPC 4000. On the MPC 4000, you've got quite a few different clock-in sources. So first of all, you got the MIDI, obviously. You got MIDI timecode and MIDI clock, okay? And you've got SMPTE on this, okay? Which stands for Society of Motion Picture and Television Engineers Timecode. So it's basically a synchronization for TV and movie and film. So you can synchronize this properly with proper like movie equipment. Okay. So SMPTE is basically a high definition synchronization clock. Okay. You've also got word clock as well here. Okay. You have a switch by the side of it as well. Off or on. Okay. Terminator. So this has a terminator switch as well for your word clock. So the word clock is for clocking recording devices and things like DAT machines, old tape machines. That's how you synchronize them with a word clock. As you can see, it's a pretty hefty connector right there. So you've also got your digital in and out here, which you can use for clocking devices as well. As you know already, this is SPDIF or AES EBU connector right here. Okay. So also you have this ADAT here, which you can use as well for a clock. Okay, digital. Okay. So in total, the MPC 4000 has 6 clocking sources. Okay. Right. So as for synchronization on the MPC X, you have just a MIDI time code and MIDI clock. So when you go into controller mode, obviously with the software, you be synchronized through your USB when it's in controller mode. But that's it. It doesn't have anything like SMPTE or word clock or digital or nothing like that. So now I'm going to take you through the ports and drives. So first of all, we got a USB here, which I call like an in and out, because obviously it links to the computer and it exchanges data back and forth from the computer. So we got a USB in and out here. Okay. Next, we got a SCSI. Okay. So SCSI, SCSI, stands for Small Computer System Interface. This here, the SCSI. So with that, as some of you will know, it's for data, loading files and saving files. So you would have drives going to link to this. You have a cable here, and then you'll have a drive attached to it, like a zip drive or a jazz drive or a hard drive or a CF drive, some type of drive. So obviously you can have it here, but usually you can have a USB version as well. So you have USB on the front of this. So I'm going to switch around to the front and just show you the front ports and drives on this as well. So here on this side here, we've got another USB. You can plug in USB sticks or anything USB in here. You can plug in. You can also plug in a USB keyboard into here as well and type your stuff. Okay, so we got headphones out here, and we got the level for it here. Okay, there's a port hole here. You can add something here in this port, a floppy drive or something like that. So here we have a CD-ROM on this CD rewriter, which burns and loads to CD, not DVD, CD. And as you can see, you have an output here on the CD-ROM, which is a small headphone output. So you can listen to what's playing on this CD through this. You have a volume here as well. So back to the USB port at the back. This USB port here, I forgot to say, is for loading back and forth from the computer. But there's a program that you need to connect the computer to the MPC 4000, and it's called Axis. I've done a video on it, and I'm gonna upload the video so you can see that as well. So on the MPC X here, we have 2 USBs. I call these ins. And then we have the in out here. This is the one that goes to the PC. You can also use this with USB keyboards as well. And there's a SD card at the front. So I'll show you that right now. Here's the SD card slot here. As you can see, there's the slot there. That's where the SD card goes in. Slots in there. So yeah, obviously these USBs, you can use them for USB sticks and drives and things like that as well, which is handy. So the MPC X also has Bluetooth. You can use MIDI keyboards and things like that through Bluetooth. You can have a Splice account as well through your wireless network. It has wireless networking as well. So you can download all your plugins through your wireless account, which is good as well. So here now we've got the front of the MPC 4000. So in total, the MPC 4000 has a total of 75 buttons in total. Okay, obviously it's got the 16 pads and it has this screen here, which is just a normal screen. You can get an LCD upgrade, which makes it a bit better. Okay, but it's still small. I'll say now, I'm gonna say it's relatively small compared to the machines of today. But yeah, it's got 75 buttons. It's got 4 Q-Link knobs and 8 Q-Link buttons with 2 Q-Link faders. I love the faders, especially for live events and things like that. Faders are really good. And it's pretty large, as you can see. I'll post the dimensions up on the screen so you can see the dimensions. Okay, so with the MPC X, this is the front, obviously. So the first thing that you can see here is this huge screen, touch screen, 10-inch. It's a great screen. So in total, you got a total of 60 buttons. That's not including these directional cursor buttons here, but I did include this enter button. And 17 of those buttons are double, like these ones here. They have red writing at the bottom of them as well, so they have 2 tasks to the button. Another thing, you can toggle between your main signal and your incoming signal, which is a nice feature. You can switch as well from stereo to mono on that monitoring. You have a meter here, which is another nice feature of the MPC X. You've also got that mix knob here as well on the front. And that's for the front 2 instruments here. No CD-ROM, but you know, it is what it is. You've got 16 Q-Link knobs, which are excellent. These are really, really good, especially for the sample editing and things like that, and just everything. So these are really good. So yeah. The dimensions, I'll put the dimensions up now on the screen so you can see the dimensions and the weight and everything. Another thing you got is individual gain knobs for the inputs. And obviously you got the switches here where you can switch from front to rear. And you've also got live recording as well on the MPC X. So you have track recording, track editing as well. So that's another great feature. So that's it. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe to my channel and tune in for some more videos. Peace out.